All right, hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the podcast tonight. We have changed the name. We were calling it The Predator Hunter Today, and then we called it Dog Soldier Live. Well, it just didn't fit. I don't really know. I don't really know what I was trying to do. I guess I kind of had it in my head that we could maybe get some industry leaders on, maybe get some really badass guys. That are really good predator hunters on, and it might not happen exactly how I wanted it to. And it's nothing against anybody. Nobody did anything wrong. There's just a lot of red tape when a guy like me starts up a podcast, for instance. Dog Soldier, and yeah, right here. That's the problem right there. So I put myself on a box, and I got a name on a box. I helped Flex Tone design the FLX series electronic calls a couple years ago, and I helped them design some hand calls, and everything was just perfect, I thought. But the minute I put myself on a box, it kind of changed the dynamics of everything. I guess instead of chattering and BSing around, I got my face and name on a box, which is really not that big a deal. It's just business, but it created a lot of technicalities. And for a guy like me to start a podcast and expect all the other companies in the industry to jump on board, I guess I was just dreaming just a little bit. And it's not nothing against any companies that decide not to be on the podcast. There are a lot of companies that's going to be on the podcast. I've already talked to them. But there's some have opted out, and it's not really that big a deal. I guess I have made some comments, Les Johnson in particular. Supposedly I've said some really bad things about Les here lately. I asked him to be on the podcast, and he's in the field hunting. And he's not going to be able to make it tonight, obviously. And I really don't know if he's going to be able to make it at all. His social media manager informed me that he was really surprised that I was going to be on... he was really surprised that I asked Les to be on the podcast. And because of the things I've said about him lately. And I really don't know what it was I said. Bad. I might have been joking around a little bit or ribbing around a little bit, but the last few podcasts I have aggravated a few people, and I respectfully am sorry for that. I thought we were all pals, and I thought we all had thick skin, and I know I didn't say anything bad about anybody that would make them not want to be on the podcast. So I hope if Les is watching this, which he's probably not, because I don't blame him. He's in the field hunting and there's better things to do. But if his social media manager is watching, which maybe they are, maybe they're not, I'm sorry. And I would like to have Les on the podcast because the people would like to get to know Les. As well as I've worked a lot of shows with Les. We've been in Cabela's before. And back when Les was in his prime, like really prime, he come out with his calls and he was selling them things. I'll never forget. Excuse me, I got something in my mouth. I'll never forget, we was at a Cabela's, I believe in Kansas City, Missouri, and Les was there. And I was doing seminars for Hunter Specialties. And at the time, Hunter Specialties was pretty behind on electronic game calls. Didn't have really nothing cool to show. It really wasn't working good, but Les Johnson, Triple Crown winner, probably one of the best coyote contest hunters in the freaking country. We was eating lunch, and he just looked at his phone every 5 minutes. He's like, bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, what's up, Les? And he's like, man, these calls are going like wildfire. And he was just selling calls right and left, and I really didn't think much of it until I seen his seminar. And then after his seminar, Cabela's had some nice cardboard boxes under his table, and he was just handing them calls out right and left. Going out the door. And we're talking like a $29 price point hand call. And it's well worth it because Les kills a hell of a lot of coyotes with them. And anyway, Les has it going on. And like I messaged his social media manager a while ago, which I have no idea who it is. I messaged them and said that I didn't think I said anything bad, really didn't know what I said, and I thought me and Les were pals, so if Les is mad at me for something I said, I sent him my phone number, and maybe we can take care of it, because I would like Les to be on the show, even though he's with Hunter Specialties right now, and they've got a caller out, but I don't want to talk about product. I don't want to talk about my product. I want to talk about coyote hunting, and I want to talk about predator hunting, and I want to talk about the things that people want to talk about, which is coyote killing. And I made a change. I made a change to the podcast. The name is called Plain and Simple Predator Hunting now. And you can find it on the iTunes app, podcast app. And the reason I called it Plain and Simple Predator Hunting is because if everybody's watched me the last 10 years, plain and simple means no bullshit. Me and one of my best friends, Stacy Hall, we've always said... okay, my audio's out of sync. Anyway, I'm gonna drop the video for just a second and I'll log it back up. But anyway, one of the things about this industry is we used to all be friends. So I changed the name to Plain and Simple Predator Hunting because I want it to be about all predator hunting. I know last week the show was not up to par because of some internet issues, and I'm blaming it all on YouTube. Right now we're having some video issues, so it's a lot of bugs, and we may move platforms. I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but one thing about it, one thing about the whole deal is I want us all to be pals again. I was talking to Mike Dillon of Fox Pro the other day, and he said the same thing. He wants to get back to the way things used to be. Back when, people, back when we all shook hands and did things like that, and we didn't talk crap about each other, and we didn't mouth each other, and we didn't do stuff like that. That's what I wanted to get, that's what I wanted to get back to. So it's Plain and Simple Predator Hunting now. No bullshit, just predator hunting. Yeah, we'll talk some rodeo, and we'll talk some buck and bulls, and we might talk some news and stuff, but, I jabbed and poked at a couple of my buddies the last few weeks, and because of some industry issues, they took it wrong. It wasn't wrong. I'm not trying to get popular off of other people's, I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to make fun of people to gain any stardom or popularity. For God's sakes, there's 15 people watching this podcast right now. So, it's not like we're all getting rich. It's not like we're all getting famous, and we're damn sure not going to be able to do it alone, and I understand that. So anyway, Plain and Simple Predator Hunting with the Dog Soldier is now live every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and it will be on the podcast app. If you got iTunes, we'll look it up on podcast. Just search the Dog Soldier or Plain and Simple Predator Hunting, and there it'll be. You guys can comment and tell me how the video is looking. If it's still looking like a Chinese movie, I guess we're just going to have to deal with it. I don't know. I don't really know. I've had some Mac issues. I'm using a smaller Mac this week. Last week, I dumped coffee on my Mac while I was packing your guys' packages. And it sucks. So, I lost my big Mac. I'm working off a small Mac now. We're going to try to do this better. It's trial and error. This is not simple if you want to do it with any quality whatsoever. One thing I want to talk about as well, you remember last week, I believe the feller's name was Miles. He was on here talking about predator calls and talking about diaphragms, and all you guys in the chat room were helping him with the MFK diaphragms. Now, the MFK diaphragms are very close to me. Um, where's Trump? I kicked him off the show this week. He's got enough attention. I don't want to get in any more trouble. Anyway, Miles last week, he was a 14-year-old young gentleman, and he actually called in on the show. And he wanted a diaphragm call, but he was so young he didn't have a checking account, he didn't have a credit card, he didn't have PayPal. Oh man, am I back to Chinese mode, guys? All right, well that's fine. We'll just keep it at Chinese mode. So anyway, so so anyway, this kid, I told him you all did such an awesome job helping him on. Okay, so do I still look like a Chinese movie or do I not? So now I'm confused. But anyway, back to Miles. Miles called in on the show. And he was really wanting a diaphragm, and he didn't think I would answer the phone, so he didn't really have much to say, but he was a good kid. He wrote me a letter this week, and he thanked me for being so positive, and he thanked me for being straight up, and he thanked me for hanging out with you guys, and he loved the chat room, and he loved the people that helped him. So that kind of brought some things to my mind. He did send me a $20 bill. I told him, I said, send me a $20 bill and I'll hook you up. So that covered a real nice diaphragm call and some shipping, and I sent him some calls. And so Miles is taken care of because of all you guys on the chat room. So I really appreciate you guys. I see you guys talking back and forth, bantering back and forth, telling jokes and having fun on the chat room while I'm BSing you guys. So it's a fun platform. I want to do this every week. It's going to grow. It's going to get big. We've had a lot of people watching live, and usually live podcasts are for people that like to watch stuff live. This is kind of a weird time on Thursday night, so it's watched 1,000 to 1,500 times in a week. I kind of I don't really keep track of it after the week because everybody's. Yes, Wesley, we ain't done yet. Don't worry. We'll get to that too. Wesley Hamilton's on. He won a diaphragm a couple weeks ago, and we haven't given that away yet. Last week we had so many technical difficulties that I didn't give nothing away. Now, so we're going to give another diaphragm. Thanks to Wesley Hamilton, we'll give another diaphragm away tonight. Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you to copy the link to this live feed. It is www.youtube.com/live_dashboard. Actually, that's my... see? I'm all over the place. So you know what the live feed is. You're watching it. Copy, paste it. Go to Facebook and actually share this and get people to watching this. We're going to give some stuff away tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we got Miles taken care of. We got a call to give away that Wesley Hamilton donated. He won one a couple weeks ago, and we were going to do it last week, but we dropped a lot of internet, and so it kind of sucked. But Wesley's letter actually brought a lot of things to actually brought me to my milk a little bit. I realize here lately I have maybe, and you guys can comment and tell me the truth. I mean, if you think I'm a prick, you can tell me. I can take it, but maybe I've been a little cocky here lately, and maybe I thought this podcast maybe I thought it was going to be bigger than it was. I don't really know. I was really disappointed last week. We had a lot of viewers, and we lost them all due to internet issues, and it's just a lot of bugs I'm trying to work out. And me and my fiance Emily, we're going to get them worked out. Because we like this platform, and she's upstairs watching me right now. So it's fun for everybody, even us at home. And his letter, when he said, "Hey, Kreiner, thanks for being so positive and a stand-up guy, and thanks for interacting with us," it kind of smacked me in the face a little bit. Me picking on Al 2 weeks ago was not positive, even though Al is my brother, and I wasn't picking on him. But somebody had been watching the podcast and obviously texted Al or called him or whatever, and it turned into a big shit show. And I'm sorry for that. And now I've got now I got Les Johnson pissed off at me because I didn't really. I did make a remark around. I did make a remark about Les Johnson. And I said Les likes to do everything first, and that's really not bad. He does. I mean, he is a Triple Crown winner. He coined that phrase himself. He won the Worlds, the Nationals, and some other contest the same year. I mean, he is a badass predator hunter. I'm not going to take that away from him. He posted a video on YouTube. It's Everything Outdoors with Les Johnson, so make sure you guys go back there and check it out. Les is a cool cat. But anyway, he does like to do things first. I mean, he killed a coyote. The kill shot I don't think was on video, but he killed a coyote in Missouri on live Facebook, and it was awesome. And he said on his video, I bet nobody's ever done that before. And I'd done it last August. And that's fine. I didn't mean nothing by it. So anyway, Miles's letter brought me to my milk a little bit. I want to be more positive. I want to be more positive for you guys. I want to get to know you guys a lot better. And I want you guys to get to know these other guys. And I want them to be on the podcast. If they're pissed off at me, put it aside for a little bit and let's just talk predator hunting so everybody at home can watch as well. So, I'll quit gabbing. I've gabbed for like 15 minutes about nothing but plain bullshit. So let's talk about predator hunting. One thing we wanted to do on this podcast, talking about predator hunting, this is being one of the first, and actually the first plain and simple predator hunting. We wanted to talk about the basics. We wanted to talk about rocket science. We wanted to talk about predator hunting, plain and simple. Okay? And you guys, I told you what plain and simple means. So, that's it. Plain and simple. So, we're going to talk basics tonight. I got my phone number right here. And you guys are going to be able to call in and interact. And I am going to give away an MFK Elite Diaphragm Howler, sponsored by Wesley Hamilton, because that sucker won a couple weeks ago, and you know what? Sheesh, he won them a couple weeks ago, and he gave it back so somebody else could. First of all, I want to know who Miles Elms is on. He finally got on. Miles Elms is the one that bought the diaphragm call. And he sent me the letter, and he's a badass cat, man. He's gonna grow up and be a big time predator hunter just like us, and I appreciate you all guys for helping him. So what we're gonna do is, first of all, I'm kind of looking at live chat here. Who's all a veteran? Is there any veterans watching right now? Go ahead and comment if you are. I'd like to see your comments, and we're gonna get right to some questions. So when we're talking about basics and we're talking about rocket science, you guys have seen me on video say push a damn button and just kill a coyote. That's what I like to do. I like to have a good playback device, and I like to have a good playback device, and I like to be able to go pick a good setup and kill a damn coyote. Plain and simple. That's about all I like to do, and I'll tell you how I achieve this. When I'm coyote hunting, the big thing that I do is I really concentrate. I really concentrate a lot on my setups. I know that sounds generic, and I know that sounds basic, but as a Triple Crown winner, Les Johnson and Al Morris winning the world 4 times with Garvin Young. There is a lot of people that put a lot of stock in rocket science or features or bells and whistles, and they think they have to have them to kill coyotes. And people like myself, people like Les Johnson, people like Al, people like Garvin, people like Jeff Ryder, Hampton, people like Gerald Stewart that hasn't predator hunted in a few years and used to predator hunt 20 years ago every day, all day long. That was his job. They all catch yourself going back to the basics. So that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about going back to the basics. So Walter Seabow I believe is how he says his last name. He was in third ID, 97-2001. So from 97 to 2001, he's a 4-year veteran. And then we got KD Hartman, 44. He's a 15 years in the Army. Badass cat. I appreciate you guys' service. And you know, a lot of us that are not in the service, all we can do as Americans is support you guys. So we do thank you for that. And so here's what I want to do. I'm going to take one phone call. I'm going to go ahead and type the number in the chat right here. I'm going to take one phone call. Now, this is my Google Voice number. I'm not giving you assholes my real number because you'll call me every minute of every day, and I turn off my phone after 5 o'clock in the evening. So you can call me anytime you want between 8 and 5 on this number. So I'm going to take one phone call, and I want it to either be Walter Seabow or KD Hartman. There's the number. One of you guys call me, Walter Seabow or KD Hartman. One of you guys call me, and I'm going to answer the phone, and we're going to talk about some predator hunting. Martok, we're going to talk about picking the right setup. We're going to talk about the basics, and if we go over an hour tonight, so be it. We're going to go over an hour. That's just how it is. So anyway, let's see it, guys. Miles, I'm talking about you right now, brother. You're awesome. I appreciate the letter, and it really changed me, and sometimes I need a letter like that to get me focused. It was very positive, and I love it, man. I love it. So KD Hartman, Walter Seabow says go ahead and call, so go ahead and call. Somebody call me right now. One of you two farts. I want to talk predator hunting. Oh, in the news today, Donald Trump dropped the Moab on Afghanistan. We had a Green Beret killed last week, and I hate that. It sucks. But Donald Trump took care of it. I don't know what your guys' opinion is on the Moab dropping or the bombing in Syria, but I think Donald's meaning some business. What I do want to make sure that comes out for me is I just hope he don't fall into the same trap a lot of our past presidents have and follow kind of like something pouring into a mold. So anyway, all right, so I gave KD Hartman and Walter my number, my personal number, and nobody has called. So I don't care. Somebody call me right now or I'm going to be pissed off. There's 2,300 people watching right now, and nobody's calling me. Okay, here we go.
Call from
Hello.
Walter Seabow.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press...
Hello.
Steve Kerner.
What's going on, brother?
Oh, trying to find out some inside tricks on hunting coyotes.
Hold on, I'm having some audio difficulties. Can you hear me now? How about now? Oh no. Are you there? Hello.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. All right, we're having some audio issues, but anyway, who am I speaking to?
Walter Seabow.
Walter, what's going on, brother?
I was just calling. I guess KD didn't want to do it.
Sheesh, are you really from Beaumont? That's what it come in on the caller ID.
Actually, I'm from Houston.
Oh, okay.
Originally from Southeast Missouri, but I live in Houston.
Yeah, I got you. I'm actually from Southwest Missouri, is where I grew up at, just a little north of Springfield, Missouri. And oh yeah, there in Bolivar. I grew up in Buffalo, but I lived in Bolivar for like 18 or 20 years, something like that. So hey, do you know where the Gator Park is on I-10 there in Beaumont?
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I used to go down there, and I did quite a few appearances for Gary down there.
Really?
Yeah, and I'd go down there and wrestle gators and get in that competition and do all that fun shit.
Yeah, I lived right over by there. That's actually how I got the number back in 07, 08. guess all until like 2010.
I got you. So for calling in, for one, you won the Dog Soldier Elite. So what I need you to do is go ahead and put your address in the comments, or just find me on Facebook and send me a message and make sure I get your address this week.
All right, I'll do that. I appreciate it.
I'm going to send you an MFK Elite diaphragm. So how long have you been predator hunting, Walter?
Almost about 4 years now.
4 years. Do you consider yourself pretty successful? How many coyotes you kill a year, you think?
No, I haven't even been that serious. It's funny that you're talking about Les. I got into it from a friend that just listens videos, like they're the Holy Bible, this is all he watches, all he does. And listening to him and actually listening to a lot of the people what's going on, I don't think he was quite understanding the way it actually works. He's watching a video that don't tell him when it was shot, what was going on with the coyotes at the time.
Yeah.
And then he's coming over here when we're hunting. It's a totally different area, totally different scenarios, and thinking you're going to do the same thing and it's going to have results. And actually, we would go, a few times here and there. Sometimes, especially during the wintertime, it seemed like we'd go more. But it wasn't until I ended up on Facebook in some of these groups, like the predator hunting tactics and all that, that I started learning more. And I've killed more in the last 2 months from that, learning from the guys in that one group, and realizing, that same friend told me about you. And I said, man, I've never heard of this guy. He's like, really? He's like, man, I've been watching on TV. I'm like, I don't have that channel. So at that time, I bought the FLX 500. Then I started watching your videos. And it wasn't until I watched your video about putting in the time to scout that it really started clicking. You can learn all the calls that you want to learn on the diaphragms, or you can use all the stress calls you want to. But if you're sitting there calling to nothing, you're calling to nothing. Nothing's ever going to show up.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until, really this year that it really got more serious, and I started getting more in the tune of what's going on, what to look for.
Yeah.
And when I sent you the message the other day with that the coyote that I killed, that was, like I said, that message, that was the first time I thought I actually knew what I was doing. I went in, I found them, I got right on top of them, called them, within 2 or 3 minutes, I killed my first coyote. I actually felt like I was on top of them. I knew when I got in there I was going to get something.
Yeah.
So the last 3 years, I really don't even, I just kind of throw it out the window,
Yeah.
We just set up somewhere, throw a call out, always distress call, and that was it.
Yeah, and that's funny you brought up that the last 3 years you just threw out the window. I actually did that as well. When I first started predator hunting, I was, I don't know, I was 13 or 14 years old, and I didn't kill my first predator till I was 16 years old. And I'll never forget the day. We driving down the road, there was snow, and I seen some tracks crossing the road. So I just pulled over in the ditch on the opposite side of the road, put my Pioneer speaker out on top of the truck, put my tape in, turned it up, cranked her up loud, and then I ran to the opposite side of the road. And there was a big old draw, and down there in southwest Missouri, lead mine down by Buffalo, it's conservation ground, real deep wooded hills and hollers, and here come a fox, and I killed that son of a bitch. And then I thought, man, I'm a predator hunter now. Well, then I started getting my ass handed to me again, over and over and over, and I wasn't killing nothing. One day I sat down and asked myself, why in the hell did I kill that one so easy, but I mean from the road more or less, and I can't kill nothing else? And then I started thinking. And my Uncle Mark, bless his soul, he's gone now, he's not with us no more, but he used to take me out to a church. and the churchyard had walnut trees, and it was a small Southern Baptist churchyard, and nobody was there during the week. So them walnut trees is loaded with squirrels, and we just kill the hell out of squirrels out of that churchyard. And I thought to myself, what is different about that fox than any other stand? And then the tracks just kept popping out in my head. I seen the tracks and I made a stand. Well, that snow was fresh. Matter of fact, it was still snowing, and I cut him about as fresh as you could cut one. And then I started thinking to myself, well, I knew he was there. And just like Uncle Mark takes me to the churchyard to shoot squirrels, we don't have to walk the hills and hollers 6 miles to kill 10 squirrels. We go do it out there in 30 minutes from the back of the truck off of a broomstick for shooting rest. I mean, that's so what I'm getting at is I just started, and I'm glad you called in, because I remember your message now, and I can't type all these stories, and I can't talk, and I can't tell all these stories. So when my messages and answers are short, I mean, I answer email and email and email and message and message and message every day. And so I can't really get into the nitty gritty of it, but I started I didn't make stands unless I knew there were coyotes there. And when I heard coyotes at, let's say, over on the Shantz farm, if I heard coyotes over there, I would go over there and make a stand for coyotes. And if I didn't kill a coyote a couple times over there, I started thinking, well, why in the hell have I not killed any coyotes over here? And that's when I started realizing, well, maybe they're not there at the time I was. So then I started really scouting hard. And back in the 90s, I fought wolves for a living from about 95 to 2000 something. And I was rodeoing all the time, and I was working through the week all the time. But right in there about, I had to have been about 21 or 2 years old, I think. I really started getting really successful. I wouldn't say good. I started getting really, really, really successful at calling coyotes. And in Missouri, I remember years ago there was Predator Masters. I don't even know if it's still online. But I had a hot dog howler from Primos, I think is what they call it. And I mean, I was killing the hell out of stuff and posting a picture every 5 minutes. And these people were thinking, man, this guy's killing the hell out of coyotes. And I was trying to be the top dog, just like everybody does when they kill stuff. And I was doing it in Missouri with a howler, the hardest howler to blow on the market. And a lot of luck in it. I had several coyotes, but I started paying attention and putting in the time. And my scouting, I owe my whole career to scouting, because it ain't the playback device. I've killed coyotes with about every playback device on the market. It ain't the collar. It ain't the Dog Soldier FLX. And I'm going to say this so I don't piss anybody off, because I've pissed enough people off here lately. It ain't the FLX 500 or the Dog Soldier hand calls that kills your coyotes. All I've given you guys is the information you need to make a good decision at the shelf or on my website. If you go buy a call, that means I've gave you all the information you need to be successful. Now, it ain't the calls, it's the scouting, and it's how you handle yourself in the woods, and it's how you handle yourself out of the woods as well. I remember one time hunting in Oklahoma with Jordy Jamerick and Randy Shaw, two buddies of mine. Met them years and years ago, and we hunted some contests, and we killed a lot of coyotes. And I was not a trapper, and I still am not a trapper. I've caught a lot of stuff trapping, but I would go hunting, and I'd go hunting with these guys, and we'd be walking. And I want everybody watching to really soak this up, because this is really important. These guys, I'd be walking behind them, they'd be walking in front of me because they were older than me, and that's just how things go, there was a pecking order, and every little bit I'd hear one of them lip smooch at the other, and then they would just take their shooting sticks and point at the ground, or they would do this and that. And I was what they called a national pro staffer with Hunter Specialties when I first started hunting with these boys. Or no, it was right before that. But anyway, finally, I just grew enough balls up to ask. And I said, what are you guys doing? Like, seriously, stop for a minute. What is all this lip smooching? And he's like, well, look right there. You see that grass dug out and yada, yada. And see the track in it. And I'm like, oh, I got you. So when I started scouting for coyotes all the time, but when I started handling myself outside the woods, that's when it really started getting good, because I started, whitetails rut a certain time of the year. And in September, when bow seasons are open, if you get the right alfalfa field or you get on the right whatever kind of food source, I mean, you can kill just about any deer you want if you do it right. But coyotes, I really think in order to be successful, they're 100% coyote all the time, 100% of the time. We're coyote hunters 100% of the time, but we can only do it part-time. So we're not even near what this animal is. So we got to eat, breathe, and sleep coyotes. And I'm not saying give up your whole life for a coyote, but if you're fishing, if you're mountain biking, if you're deer hunting, I mean, these boys were trappers. And they constantly were looking for sign everywhere we went. They knew if there was coyotes present. They knew if there was coyotes present the day before. Or most of the time, Jordy, if we was on his ranches, he knew if there was going to be coyotes present tomorrow. I mean, this guy had it down pat. And that's when I really, really, really started getting successful.
Well, I'm running into problems right now is they're kind of just gone quiet. And it's just kind of randomly, that you're hearing any kind of vocalization out of. You can go out there and howl and not hear anything, and then maybe an hour later, all of a sudden, there they are howling.
Yeah.
And that's the real problem I've had right now, is trying to locate where those are. I know where some are, but I'm just trying to stay out of honey holes right now. I'm trying to find some others. But that's really been the biggest problem I've found right now, is they're just not real vocal.
Yeah.
It may be because, I've put a lot of hunt pressure on them since the first of the year, so they'll probably catch on to something that's going on. But I found some new ground to hunt, so we're going to try out some stuff over there and see what happens too.
Well, I tell you what, the February lull, everybody says, all the big time coyote hunters and guys that do it and eat, breathe, and sleep, and the February lull is tough. And I know it's April, but the February lull is when the females start horsing, and things just start getting weird. You know how it is. I mean, if you throw one single chick into a dance floor and there's 10 cowboys standing around, shit's gonna get weird. And so what happens is, depending on your ratio and stuff like that, things get weird and you start killing with a little more vocals and stuff like that. But right now, I mean, that female, coyotes have a 63-day gestation period. So if they're bred in February, down in Texas, they're getting ready to start having pups, or they're starting to have, the early ones are already having them.
I think they're on them now. I think they went into breeding season here kind of early, kind of toward the end of January.
Yeah. I mean, they breed early, just like they have pups early or anything else. I've shot female bitch coyotes in December, bleeding like she'd been stuck by a Japanese guy in a bayonet between the legs. I mean, it's every coyote is different, but they are dogs, and they do their thing. And I love you too, Dirk. Dirk Jenkins from Great Plains Outfitters is chatting. But anyway, so what happens? So what happens in April is these coyotes, these females, are really working hard right now, and I don't know for sure. So I wish I had a guest tonight that really knew, so we could visit with them about it as well. But because Les and them guys, they do a lot of denning, and Jeff Ryder in Hampton, so they would probably know if a male. I'm not sure if the male cleans out the dens or not, but I do know females clean out 8 or 9 dens. And depending on where she has her pups or what the pressure levels are at certain areas, that dictates where she has her pups. Now, think about it a little bit. 63-day gestation period. If they're bred in middle of February, it's about time to start having pups. So they are really working hard right now, cleaning out dens. But another thing if they're denned up, if she's had her pups, they have a core area. Now, if you have a pretty big coyote population, you can start killing what they call transient coyotes and stuff like that. But you got about getting that core area to kill them denning coyotes. That's where decoy dogs and stuff come in. You know, you might howl, and that pair of coyotes or 3 coyotes that's on that den, they may not say a word, but an hour later they may decide to start, you know, doing their thing. And then you log that location, and you go back and you try to den them, or you try to, you know, use your dogs and, you know, kill the adults. And then, you know, if you're doing predation work, there's all kinds of stuff to it. But right now they're really busy critters. April, I've never been too active in April just because of turkey season. But I will tell you one thing. I went to, you know, I may have went. No, I didn't. Anyway, I was thinking I hunted Arkansas one time in April, but I've hunted Arizona in April, and I've hunted here in April, and I've hunted several places in April, and I've been very successful, but it is a lot slower. If it were me, and you had something else to do like fishing or yada 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 or whatever the hell you want to do, I would take a break and just chill out for a little while. And I'm not going to say don't, you know, I kill coyotes whenever I can, but I do utilize my summer months for a vacation because I hunt pretty hard. And since it's my job, it is a job. So it's very stressful and stuff. So I use the summer months to take it easy. But, you know, I start hunting southern Arkansas the last weekend of August. And for 3 days, I will see a coyote on every stand down there in the brush, in the thick brush. And you know what? 90% of them aren't pups. It's the damnedest thing I ever seen. You think hunting in August, you just reel in pups after pups after pups after pups, and it just, I don't know. I've been really good down there, and the coyotes really come to the call that time of year, and there are always a lot of coyotes. So April's just tough. And I tell you one thing you can do is if you go out and get one to howl back at you real subtle, cut some distance, or if he's close enough, go ahead and make a stand, and you'll probably have pretty good luck. But if, you know, a lot of times if you're close to the den and you howl, that male or the female, you know, they don't tolerate much other canine interaction in their territory around a den. And that's why people's dogs, when they're walking dogs, you hear the coyote attacks and stuff in April and May.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they're walking their dog close to a coyote's core area. That typically don't happen. You can ask all the decoy dog guys on the net and on the internet. A big part of these guys do not get coyotes to work their dogs all year long. It's usually, you know, April, May, and June, them times, and that's right. You know, if you walk your dog within 100 yards of a coyote den and there's not much pressure on them coyotes, especially, I mean, they will yank a dog right out from under you. And even if there is pressure, I've heard hundreds and hundreds of stories of coyotes, you know, hitting hunting dogs and stock dogs, you know, out checking cows in April and May. And I mean, and they'll run up and they'll hit them. You know, they'll run up and T-bone them and try to show their stuff, and the dogs usually don't want nothing to do with it. But a lot of dogs will play, and then that's where you get your decoy in action at. So.
Yeah, it might be time to start slaying some hogs and feed them for a little while and keep them happy. Come back, because we got plenty of hogs running around.
Oh yeah, and I mean, if you're killing them hogs, you know, I know it's a pain in the ass a little bit, but you know, clean what you think you're gonna eat or whatever. I don't care what you do with them, but throw them in. If you can throw them in a core area or a pile, and dude, there ain't nothing funner in the world than baiting coyotes. If you think a big buck coming into a food plot's something else, watch a coyote come to a bait pile. And then if you don't have an itchy trigger finger, you can actually sit and watch them a little bit and learn a lot from a coyote on a dead pile. And it's fun, man. It's fun. And I tell you a good way to do that. Gut them damn things out. Just cut them and drag their guts out while you're dragging them out. Don't get messy that way. And then them things don't spoil as bad on that pile, and them coyotes think it's like cotton candy.
Might try that, because we got plenty of hogs, and I see them every weekend out there, and have not been shooting for the sake of trying not to shoot in the same area. I'm coyote hunting all the time, so maybe just try to feed them for a while. Maybe they'll kind of rest easy for a little bit.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, hey man, I appreciate you calling in, and send me your address, and I'll get you an MFK Elite out. And this is the Dog Soldier Elite, and Wesley won it a couple weeks ago, and I didn't give it away last week because we had internet issues, and so here you go. And I appreciate you calling in, and I appreciate the support.
Yeah, thanks, Steve, and thanks, Wesley.
Thank you, man. Be good.
All right.
Bye.
Okay.
So that was our brother Walter. He had sent me an email a couple weeks ago, and I'm getting messages about computers. I'm getting messages about turkeys. My buddy Jimmy Sapino from Wyoming is in Sheridan, and he's turkey hunting, so he's doing his thing. But I tell you what, you know, this is a crazy time of year. We got coyotes breeding everywhere. Then we get done with that bull crap. Then we have to deal with the denning season. We get done with that bull crap, and it's still hot. So there's a lot of things going on this time of the year. But coyotes are very, very, very killable. And it all comes around. It all circles back around to scouting. I mean, that's exactly what it circles around to. Now, I posted the number up there once again, children, 307-228-0650. Once again, Plain and Simple Predator Hunting is brought to you by TacticalPredatorHunter.com for your dog soldier gear. That's a shameless plug by me because I own the website and I own this podcast, and I sell all the cool shit that you're seeing pop up on the screen. I sell bog pods. I sell Cirrus Windicators. I sell FLX 500s, 1000s. I sell all the dog soldier calls. I sell 3 MFK diaphragm calls. I sell rangefinders. I sell holsters that I make. I do all kinds of cool stuff. So, my mom just, good job, son. I love you. I love you too, Mom. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate all the support you've given me over these 38 years. So anyway, once again, the podcast is brought to you by TacticalPredatorHunter.com. Go buy shit so I can pay my house payment. All right, I just posted the phone number up again. Who wants to call in? Let's hear it. Somebody call the number. Let's talk predator hunting. I'm in the mood now. I'm going to try to get this audio to work. I don't know what the hell's going on here. But I'm ready. Anyway, I can hold the phone like a dumbass up close to the mic. So anyway, the number's right there. Somebody call in. Dirk, I would sell you if you would hold still long enough and Jen would let me. You know, one thing about the podcast I do enjoy is I enjoy being able to talk to you guys. I enjoy being able to interact with you guys, and I enjoy you guys calling in. I like talking predator hunting, and I like talking to you guys, and I like getting to know you guys, and that's one thing I want to do to separate myself from everybody else. It's not so much to be cocky and bust everybody's balls and have fun like I originally did the first couple episodes, and I thought we were all friends and we could handle it, but we couldn't. And I just screwed up. So the podcast is going to be a little different. We're still going to do a little bit of news when it's worthy. We all seen Donald Trump drop the Moab today, and we know what kind of news that is, and it is what it is, and all I can do is support our president because I voted for him, and you know what? He's created over 40,000 jobs since he's been in office and counting, so I can't complain about that. You know, one thing we were talking about when it come to scouting and all this, I mean, it don't matter what you buy. And I mentioned with it when I was talking to Walter there. It don't matter what I use. It don't matter what Les or Al or anybody else uses. Our job should, as outdoor personalities, our job should be to give you guys enough education to make a good decision at the shelf. You know, I should be able to give you enough videos and enough information to know that my collar is crystal clear, durable, sounds good. but it don't have a lot of bells and whistles. It's pretty simplistic. And I can tell you the price point. So that's what I try to do. And there it is. It might be the best and it might not be the best. But I guarantee you, since there is features and since there is specs, there's never a best. The best is in the eyes of the beholder. I've had a lot of rifles that I thought were the best. Man, that Mossberg MVP Predator shot like a dream. I never said it was the best, but it was a damn good rifle for the money. I can't complain. Then I start shooting a Winchester Model 70 Coyote Light in a 243 this year. That son of a bitch is mean. It's awesome. I can't expect anything else out of a rifle. So as hunters, the good thing about hunters in the industry and the innovation, now we just never know what's going to happen. We got 4 or 5 really big companies in the electronic game call market right now, and they're all producing top-notch stuff. We got Fox Pro, Icotech, Lucky Duck, Dog Soldier and Flex Tone, Wildlife Technologies. I mean, there's 5 callers right there that have a name in the business, that are household names that have stake in this business, and they all make really good callers. It's tough as a consumer right now. It really is. Yeah, I just seen somebody chatted that you guys can see the chat room there, that 100 confirmed kills so far at the bomb. They were having a meeting. You know what? I heard a lot of people on the news today and on Fox News say, they said, how do we know we didn't kill civilians in that mountainous region? And then they started talking tunnels and stuff like that. And if you don't think that they know what's going on, you're crazy. They knew that meeting was there, or they wouldn't have dropped a Moab on it. I'm telling you that right now. We all know that. I'll tell you another thing. This jack-off in North Korea, and I hope he's watching Plain and Simple Predator Hunting with Steve Kreiner, the dog soldier, bad-mouthing Kim Jong-un, or whatever the hell his name is. He says if we fire one shot... Now I'm going to get pissed off, so I got to get some water. He said if we fire one shot, he's going to launch a nuclear strike on the United States of America. Let me tell you right now, if he had an invincible warhead that was an atomic bomb, he would already launch that son of a bitch. I mean, you think that little sawed-off homeboy, you think he's giving us mercy? Absolutely not. If he had any power whatsoever to do any harm to the United States, he would already done it. Can I get a freaking amen on that? I mean, for real? Mike Dante, he's filmed some Dog Soldier episodes, and he's one of my best friends, and he done 3 tours in Iraq. He was a Bradley gunner, Bradley driver, and a Bradley commander. He's a staff sergeant. And, he tells me stories about how he was respectful to people over there. Because a lot of our guys, they want to keep the peace until absolutely... it's not like they want to bomb or they want to blow shit up. But in the reality of things, when ISIS gets out of hand, or Kim Jong freaking Un or whatever his name is, start running their mouth and doing... Somebody has to do something. But keep in mind... Yeah, you're right, Martok. But you know what? Mike Dante said something the other day, and he was absolutely right. How do we create terrorists? And I want you guys to think on this a little bit. How do we create terrorists? We bomb them. If we bomb somebody, they retaliate. So there's two sides of the sword here. There's 2 edges, and we got to deal with it. Mike Dante is one of my best friends, and he knows what he's talking about because he's been there. And me, I support Trump right now. I support the bombings. I'm a little bit scared of the outcome, what's going to happen. I hope like hell we don't fall into the mold that I spoke about earlier, and we start sending troops over there. But one Moab is way better than 1,000 feet on the ground. That's what I'm talking about. And if this guy in North Korea keeps running his mouth, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, I don't think we should bomb him because, I mean, he's just running his mouth right now. But is what it is, you know. If he had a nuclear warhead and he was going to throw it at us, he would already threw it at us. I mean, I'm telling you that right now. Well, anyway, guys, it is 8:59 Mountain Time. 8:59 Mountain Time, right here live from the Dog Soldier YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dog Soldier TV, and Plain and Simple Predator Hunting from the podcast, iTunes podcast app. Don't forget. Guys, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the support you all show Dog Soldier and TacticalPredatorHunter.com. All the sponsors, you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. Share this video. It's going to be up on the YouTube channel all week, and I'll probably leave it up from ever now on. We had some technical difficulties at the beginning. If the audio and stuff was bad, I'll probably crash it just like I did last week. But anyway, I appreciate you all guys watching, and man, it was a good show. We talked a lot of predator hunting, and we're going to talk more. Peace out, homies. I'll catch you next Thursday night. And don't forget, there's 26 guys watching right now. Everybody subscribe and click the dinger. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to start doing podcasts throughout the week that you guys can listen to on iTunes. And you can watch them on YouTube as well. They might not have no video. They might have video. Who knows? And I'm going to work really hard at getting all these technical difficulties out of the way. We got to figure this out. So, you know, it's going to be cool. We're going to have a lot of fun. Keep watching. Share the word. Peace out, homies. I'll catch you guys next Thursday night, 8 p.m. And remember, subscribe and click that damn dinger. That way it lets you know when I'm on. Peace out.